Hi, Phillipsburg Middle School families. I'm Mr. LaForge, your principal.
And I'm Mr. Horn, your assistant principal.
Welcome back to the 2020-2021 school year. We know it's not a normal school year, but we wanted to send a video out just to welcome all of you and give you some information.
So September 8th, we will be starting our all virtual model. And it's going to be important that you all are logged in at 8:27 for your first block, your first class. We will be taking attendance every day. So it's very important for you to be in your classes. But remember, September 8th, my birthday, the only gift I want is for you guys to log on at 8:27 to start the school year.
It's not just any birthday, it's his 50th birthday.
Oh.
So make sure you reach out to Mr. Horn on Tuesday and wish him a happy 50th birthday.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, so listen, we know this is not normal, not what we want to do. We love you guys. We want you back in the building as soon as possible. And hopefully by October 5th, we'll get you here. But remember, stay strong. We're in this together. And remember, always be the I in kind. Take care, guys. We love you. We miss you. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Our first slide is our welcome slide. You can see that both myself and Mr. Horn have Twitter accounts. My Twitter account is at pberg_admin, and I also have an Instagram account, principal_LaForgia. Mr. Horn is at Mr. Horn AP_PMS. We use our social media accounts to celebrate what's going on in the schools, to set reminders out. So please, if you have a chance, follow us. If this is one of the children that are watching this, please ask your parents for permission to follow Mr. Horn or myself.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Horn, your assistant principal here at the middle school. This slide we're going to talk about our expectations. Around here, the line or way is 3 simple points. Be responsible, meaning be responsible for your work, for your behaviors. Be respectful to both your teachers and your classmates. And be ready to learn. I know this landscape is a little different this year, but we do want you to be ready, meaning being prepared for both virtual and for hybrid when we return. So we just need to make sure that we're going to follow these expectations, and that will lead into a very successful school year. Next slide.
Our next slide talks about what our schedule will look like for the next 4 weeks. As I mentioned in previous emails and communications, we are moving towards a semester approach with 4 blocks. What that means is that every student will receive math and language arts every day. The other 2 blocks will either be science or social studies and phys ed or specials. So whatever you have on the first semester will change in the second semester in January. On your student schedule, you have 4 periods. Well, we think about that as 4 blocks. Block 1 is period 1, block 2 is period 3, and so on. Our first block will meet at 8:27 every morning, Monday through Friday. Our second block, 9:20 every morning. Third block is 10:13 every morning, and our fourth block is 11:06 every morning. Those are mandatory, and attendance will be taken. Our afternoon V blocks correlate with our morning blocks. So wherever you had block 1 in the morning will be the same thing in the afternoon. Block 2 in the morning will be the same thing in the afternoon. However, in the afternoon, you may be asked to return by your teacher. You can choose to come back and ask for help and support. If our teachers ask you to come back, we do recommend you do that because they'll be doing some small group, remediation, enrichment, and so on. V block 1 will start at 12:50, V block 2 at 1:20, V block 3 at 1:50, and V block 4 at 2:20, and they will go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesday afternoons, there'll be no teachers available at that time because they'll be having meeting and professional development. The last statement on the bottom is about for those of you who are looking for breakfast or lunches. The district will be distributing grab-and-go breakfast and lunch twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays from 2:30 to 4, beginning on Wednesday, September 9th, and continuing until Monday, October 5th. This will be held at the lower level of the Phillipsburg Elementary School, not at the middle school. Again, this will be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 2:30 to 4 at the lower parking lot at the Phillipsburg Elementary School. Just like when we're in school, We have expectations even in this virtual time. Our first expectation is that you'll find a quiet and calm space for your classes. Remember, whatever you are and wherever you're displaying on your camera can be seen by all that are on there. Be prepared with all your materials, including a charged computer. Make sure that you are on time for class, because if you are truant, that we will mark it. Attendance will be taken every day in every class. Remember to dress appropriately and keep your cameras on for the entire period unless otherwise instructed by your teacher. Make sure you hand in your classwork on your due dates and that understand that late work will affect your grade. Remember to be respectful and please think before you speak. Make sure that you're being responsible by checking your emails often and taking good care of your computers.
All right, guidance. This year, Mrs. Andrews will be having all of the 8th grade students as well as 7th grade students whose last names begin with A and go through the last name that begins with the letter L. So that will be Mrs. Andrews. You can see her email address there. If you have any questions regarding your schedule, classes you're taking, any concerns you have, please feel free to reach out to Miss Andrews. She is also our testing coordinator. Then we have Ms. Rautenberg. You can see Ms. Rautenberg's email address is there as well. Ms. Rautenberg will be checking in with all 6th grade students, and she has the 7th grade students, last names beginning with M through Z. Ms. Rautenberg is also our HIB specialist, so anytime there's any incident of bullying, harassment, intimidation, you would be reaching out to Ms. Rautenberg. And Ms. Sickles is our guidance secretary. You can see her phone number there with her extension. This is also the person that you will be reaching out to when you are calling a student in that is sick. Okay, next slide.
Our next slide will be discussing grades. Remember, it's important to start out strong. You don't want to fall behind, especially in these next 4 weeks where we are virtually. You can do that by getting your classwork in on time, participating, and do what is required of you by your teachers. We do have 4 marking periods again, approximately 9 weeks long. Progress reports will be distributed at mid-marking periods. Make sure that you are checking your grades and your parents are checking your grades through the parent access. All report cards and midterm progress reports will be available on parent portal only. We will not be sending home hard copies. Again, we'll be doing our honor roll. Our high honor students have a 90 plus in all academic and elective subjects. And our honors are 85 plus in each academic subject and 80 in electives.
On this slide, we're going to talk about notice to the school for student absences. If your child cannot attend the virtual instruction, I would like you to please call Ms. Sickles at 908-454-3400, extension 6030, or you may email her at sickles.karen@pbergsd.net. All absences will be recorded and counted as a student absent. So this is both for virtual and for in-person. So if your student cannot make the virtual sessions, you do need to call in because we will be taking attendance for every single class. If there's any questions or concerns, or you need to get any records for our school nurses, there is Miss Stephanie Kirk, and her email is there, as well as Miss Carrie McCormick. Okay, next slide.
This next slide is about parent access, so specifically for parents, but important for students as well. We have a parent portal which you could sign on to check your grades, to check attendance, to check your child's discipline, and to email your teacher. If you do not have a parent access, please contact Mrs. Sickles in the guidance department at the email that you see here on the screen. You can also call her at 908-454-3400, extension 6030. Please remember to keep us posted if you have a change in email and phone numbers so we can stay in contact with you. You can get to the parent portal by going to the district website. Then on the left-hand side, if you hover over the tabs on the left, you go to the bottom one where it says Parent Portal, click on there, and then put in your username and password. Again, if you have a hard time finding your username and password, contact Mrs. Sickles and she'll be able to assist you.
All right, on this slide here, we're going to discuss important forms. So the first one is our parent-teacher handbook. There's a sign-off sheet on the parent portal. Please read through the handbook. It is very important so that you can understand not only the additions from the pandemic, but also any new information that is in there regarding policies and procedures within the school. There's also the web consent, a video photo media consent form, our emergency contact forms, free and reduced lunch forms, and homework contracts. I really want to urge you to make sure that the emergency contact forms are updated regularly, as well as phone numbers. Anytime a phone number changes or an address changes, please contact us. Let us know so we can make the necessary adjustments. We just need to make sure, especially in this time where we may need to stay remote or go remote, that we have the most updated information so that students don't fall behind in their work. And that's really the reason that we need a lot of those forms. We're going to try to maintain the integrity of what we do here at the middle school, so making sure we can reach out to people and we have all the proper forms signed will allow us to do that. The next slide's about our computers and the acceptable use. As you all know, we all have our own Chromebooks, so every student has a Chromebook. You're taking it to and from school when school is in session. For now, we're starting off virtually, so you will have your Chromebook at home. All parents and students must sign the technology acceptable use policy and the web consent form. Just please remember to stay on appropriate websites. When you bring that Chromebook into the building and it files into our servers, it will trigger if there were any inappropriate sites. So I do want to remind you that the acceptable use policy needs to be followed whether you're in the building here at the middle school or you're at home doing your schoolwork. Okay, now on to Mr. LaForgia, who will wrap this up.
The last slide we have for you is our contact information. You can see myself and Mr. Horn's email address. On the bottom, we have the phone numbers for the main office and the guidance office. Please feel free to reach out to any of us, the counselors, the teachers, or myself or Mr. Horn with any questions or concerns and any way we can give you guidance and support. Remember that the schedule we shared with you today is for the next 4 weeks while we are in virtual. When we have to shift to our hybrid model, I'll be sending out more information on how that's going to affect the schedules moving forward. I thank you for joining us today. I do wish you the last couple days of a happy summer break. Look forward to seeing your children and all of you virtually on Tuesday morning. Thank you and have a great weekend.